This is the scene on the Pokrovsk plain, where a Russian column of 100 motorcycles is showered with flamethrowers with a GMLRS salvo, and then crumbles into steppe dust. This is the moment on the Touretsk line, when 6 CJ-650s with sidecars were dismantled in 8 minutes in a clamp of explosive FPV and Claymore. And this is the minute 15 Lifan Enduros on the Behatir Peninsula were riddled with bonus discs and buried in a hayfire. Hundreds of bikers, dozens of armored vehicles. Nothing remains, just destruction and mass murder. 10:40 in the morning. The Ukrainian scouts stationed at the front strained to hear the distant clatter of motorcycle chains echoing through the air. The thermal camera was lifted, revealing nearly 100 hotspots flickering on the screen, all intertwined in a chaotic display. In a dramatic turn of events, Russian troops unleashed smoke bombs, pushing forward through the swirling silver haze. Leading the convoy, 3 lightly armored MTLB vehicles cut through the atmosphere, followed closely by a striking formation of 96 motorcycles, lined up in 2 rows, ready for action. The screen flickered to life, revealing a striking curving red line. As the image sharpened, the details emerged. 96 motorcycles, 3 MTLBs, and 2 electronic jamming vehicles. A sense of urgency filled the air as the reality of the situation set in. The formation adhered to the strategy known as +8 in Russian tactical manuals. Headlights leading the way, 4 blocks of 4 positioned in the center, and support elements stationed at the back. It was moving north-south at a swift pace of 60 kilometers per hour, skillfully changing lanes every 2 minutes to minimize the dust trail behind it. Every motorcycle was accompanied by a soldier, gripping a PKM machine gun in the rear, with small binoculars secured to his helmet, ready for anything that might come their way. Jamming boxes were firmly secured to the 2 side stands of the motorcycles. With a thunderous roar, the Russian artillery unleashed a barrage of 5 explosive shells, sending earth and debris soaring into the air. In a powerful display of precision, the Ukrainian HIMARS battery unleashed its firepower at carefully selected coordinates. The first rocket struck the front MTLB, and suddenly, the road was consumed by flames. As the sensor data surged back to the command center, red lights blared ominously in the control room, signaling urgency and alerting everyone to the unfolding situation. With precision and urgency, the 101st Rocket Battalion made the critical adjustment to the launch angle. In a swift and powerful display, 4 guided rockets were unleashed in rapid succession, each one soaring into the sky with purpose. Just 48 seconds in, the first rocket erupted at 150 meters, unleashing a shower of tungsten balls raining down around us. The explosion violently tore through the front armor's turret, sending shockwaves that impacted the motorcycles parked behind it. The drivers surged forward, spiraling in a chaotic dance. The swirling dust intertwined with flickering flames, creating a scene of intense drama. The FPV drones swooped down, their propeller noise blending seamlessly with the roar of the engines. In a shocking turn of events, the first kamikaze drone slammed into the front motorcycle, sending the driver and passenger hurtling through the air. The second drone struck the jamming box right in the heart of the convoy. Suddenly, the device went quiet. The sky lay bare, a stage for Ukrainian drones. The third and fourth swooped down in a relentless sequence. In a remarkable display of resilience, the 14th Brigade's Sigma Mesh system triumphed over the jamming, ensuring that the data flow remained uninterrupted. 4 Havoc A drones swooped down at a staggering speed of 120 kilometers per hour. The first one struck the engine of the Kawasaki right in front. The gasoline erupted into vapor, flames engulfing 2 soldiers. The screen faded to darkness. As the second Havoc struck the jamming box, the intense heat engulfed the antennas, melting them away in a dramatic display of destruction. As the jamming ceased, a surge of 8 more drones launched into the sky. The motorcycles screeched to a halt, colliding in a chaotic frenzy. Oil mingled with the dirt, and the oppressive heat intensified. They veered left in a desperate attempt to flee, but lurking on that path were deadly mines and claymores, waiting to strike. In a shocking turn of events, the front sidecar became ensnared in the wires, launching the driver into the air, while the fuel tank erupted in a fiery explosion. The first Claymore unleashed chaos, tearing through 5 motorcycles and 2 sidecars. Shards of metal flew in every direction. In a shocking moment, the MON-50 disc sliced through 3 motorcycles like they were mere toys. The swiftly soaring core penetrated everything in its path. The rear MTLB unleashed a barrage into the shadowy abyss, the heavy machine guns roaring in chaos. Tracer bullets danced like fiery beacons, guiding the drones through the night. The mines detonated, sending 4 motorcycles soaring into the sky in a chaotic burst of energy. Ukrainian artillery unleashed a barrage of 5 high-explosive shells onto the escape route, a stark reminder of the ongoing conflict's intensity. In a dramatic turn of events, the same battery unleashed 2 bonus munitions, with small sensors expertly locking onto the blazing engines. A barrage of steel ruthlessly cut through the faltering group. The first disc struck the rear MTLB engine with a jarring impact, while the second hurtled into the chaotic mass of motorcycles. The rear of the column suddenly veered to the right, and the dry grass ignited. Thick smoke engulfed the area, plunging visibility into complete darkness. With a steady hand, the Kalina spotter meticulously measured the escape route using a laser. Just 37 seconds later, the ground shook as 120mm mortar shells rained down, a stark reminder of the chaos unfolding around them. The shrapnel cone ripped through the 3 sidecars, leaving them in utter devastation. The final 5 vehicles desperately sought shelter in the forest, but the MON-200 discs, strategically positioned just 2 days prior, were ready and waiting for them. The first disc tore through 6 motorcycles in an instant. The second disc struck the ammunition box, igniting a series of devastating explosions. The massive MTLB found itself ensnared in the thick mud as it attempted to reverse. Suddenly, a Stugna-P anti-tank missile struck the cabin, igniting the fuel in a fiery explosion. The fierce confrontation concluded in just 42 minutes, leaving behind a haunting scene of melted metal debris scattered across the ground, with no targets remaining in sight. In a striking turn of events, the Russians have faced significant losses, with 96 motorcycles, 21 armored vehicles, and more than 240 personnel reported down. Meanwhile, Ukraine emerges unscathed, with no casualties to report. In the latest developments, a total of 4 HIMARS rockets were launched, alongside 2 bonus discs. The skies were filled with 12 FPV drones, while the ground saw the deployment of 9 Claymore MON mines and 8 mortar rounds. Additionally, 1 Stugna-P missile was utilized in the operation. The evening wind swept through, carrying with it the acrid scent of burnt tires, while thermal cameras continued to reveal a handful of lingering hotspots. The Kalina battery commander recorded in his logbook, "Motorcycles are soft targets. No anti-tank weapons are needed." May 20th, 2025. As the first light of dawn broke over the southern outskirts of Bahatur village, a group of 40 Russian soldiers prepared themselves, mounting 15 Enduro-type Leafin KP 300 motorcycles, ready for whatever lay ahead. The drivers donned thin steel plates across their chests, while the rear passengers were positioned semi-reclined, gripping PKM or RPG 22 weapons tightly. The side bags were packed with F1 grenades, smoke grenades, and scab-at mines, a chilling reminder of the chaos that lies ahead. The convoy was left vulnerable, relying solely on the fleeting advantage of speed and the obscuring dust cloud for protection. The Furia UAV of the 53rd Mechanized Brigade soared at 450 meters, capturing footage that was promptly shared across the OCU command network. In an impressive display of precision, the Phoenix Beta Mesh team successfully launched 4 FPVs from a staggering distance of 12 kilometers, achieving a flawless signal without any interference. As the motorcycles thundered down the L-shaped dirt road at a staggering 90 kilometers per hour, the riders remained blissfully unaware of the ominous swarm of drones hovering above them, casting a shadow over the unfolding scene. In a shocking turn of events, the first FPV collided with the rear wheel of the lead KP-300, shattering the chain sprocket and sending the rear wheel soaring into the sky. The second drone struck the engine block of the motorcycle, located just 15 meters behind, resulting in an explosive blast that sent the cylinder head cover flying off. The drivers slammed on their brakes, scattering in all directions as a thick cloud of dust enveloped the scene, plunging visibility into complete darkness. In that intense moment, the 53rd Brigade Artillery unleashed 2 155mm bonus shells from their elevated position. In a devastating moment, the first shell struck, obliterating a cluster of KP-300s in an instant, with tungsten arrows piercing through the crankcase. The second disc exploded, tearing through the rear quartet like a violent storm, sending shards flying and igniting the gasoline in a fiery blaze. The 6 surviving Russian soldiers navigated through the swirling dust and choking smoke, desperately making their way to the edge of the field. In that haunting moment, a line of PMN-4 mines lay hidden beneath the surface. Suddenly, 2 detonated, leaving the soldiers with shattered ankles. As the remaining 4 scrambled to establish a line of fire, the tension in the air thickened with the arrival of the second wave of Phoenix drones. The third FPV struck the rear vehicle that was transporting the RPG-22, resulting in a powerful explosion that triggered the RPG to detonate ahead of time. A fireball erupted, setting the parched grass ablaze in the field, while the wind eagerly spread the flames, transforming the scene into a chaotic inferno. The fourth drone zeroed in on the injured crawler. The body, packed with over 2 kilograms of C4, erupted at a height of 5 meters, raining down deadly conical shrapnel across the vicinity. The second artillery battery unleashed a powerful salvo of 105mm high explosive rounds from M119 light howitzers, sending shockwaves as ammunition boxes buried in the fire erupted dramatically. The sky loomed with ominous orange-black columns, while the Furia camera struggled against the blinding white exposure. Just 11 minutes and 30 seconds into the operation, Bahadur Road transformed into a haunting metal graveyard. Tragic losses: 40 confirmed dead, 15 motorcycles obliterated. On our side, thankfully, no casualties. Intact ammunition seized: 22 F1 grenades, 14 smoke grenades, 6 RPG-22s, and 4 SKAB mines. The radio log from the 53rd Brigade carried the Moto B label, accompanied by the concerning note, "No EW soft target." May 2025, Toretsk. On a foggy morning, a vibration sensor was carefully positioned in front of the 28th Mechanized Brigade's location. At 6:07, the sensor vibrated 3 times, and then the unmistakable roar of an engine revving pierced the air. In a gripping moment, UAV cameras caught sight of an 8-motorcycle reconnaissance cell as they navigated the first curve, a scene filled with tension and anticipation. Every driver carried an RPG-26 slung over their shoulder, with an RGO bag secured at their back. At the back, 2 ATVs equipped with electronic warfare modules stood ready, their antennas pulsating with energy. With a thunderous roar, Russian artillery unleashed a relentless barrage of 82mm mortars, sending plumes of earth cascading down upon the trench heads, a stark reminder of the chaos unfolding in the battlefield. The mission aimed to take out the front trench of the 28th Mechanized Brigade using flanking fire, paving the way for the MTLB armored vehicles to advance. The Lelika 100 reconnaissance drone zeroed in on the FLIR at 320 meters the moment it detected the first exhaust flare. The heat signature writhed like a white serpent. In a pivotal moment, the brigade command post rolled out the thermal feed to the Phoenix FPV teams, all under the intriguing codename Moto Delta. In a remarkable display of technological prowess, the UWB direction finder, stationed 600 meters behind the front line, successfully overcame the Sigma hub jamming. It activated a data skipping network, a crucial move to mitigate the looming threat posed by jammers. In a bold move, the Ukrainian Peleng FPV team has unleashed 4 kamikaze drones, aptly codenamed Surprise Box. As the first drone plummeted into the ATV antenna, a sudden silence enveloped the scene. The interference vanished, and the once clouded sky opened up, revealing a stark clarity that felt almost surreal. The motorcyclists sped forward, weaving in a frantic zigzag as they approached the minefield, just 300 meters shy of the trench. The motorcycle column surged ahead at 70 kilometers per hour, weaving through the terrain with a sharp zigzag. The tires sliced through the dry clay as if they were knives. In a shocking moment, the lead motorcycle struck an anti-personnel mine, sending mud and metal scattering in all directions. The two behind were caught off guard, slamming on the brakes, leading to a dramatic overturn and the shattering of the rear arm. The right-wing team took a sudden turn onto a forest path, trying to find a way around. But the forest was perilous. A series of Claymore mines were set off by sensors. In an instant, 700 steel balls brought the 3 motorcycles to a sudden halt, a breathtaking display of force that left everyone in awe. The crew of the first sidecar lifted the GP-25 grenade launcher, and the range telemetry displayed a reading of 290. As the audio triangulation microphones captured the unmistakable piston noise echoing from the cylinder in the 4th valley, the tension mounted, and the HIMARS fire control file was swiftly prepared, ready for action. As 4 M30A1s soared into the sky, they unleashed the GMLRS flash cloud, a stunning display erupting 20 meters above the rooftop after a breathtaking 46-second flight. A tungsten ball rain erupted in a chaotic 360-degree spread, striking the 3rd motorcycle's side tank and instantly vaporizing the gasoline within. The fireball shot up like a sudden burst of chaos. The lead driver slammed on the gas instead of the brakes, but the smoke bomb kit was still waiting to be set up. Ukrainian infantry in the trench line unleashed a fierce crossfire with their PKM, targeting the enemy forces. 2 Russian soldiers advanced, their hands gripping hand grenades tightly. One RG-42 slipped from their grasp, the pin already pulled, and tumbled to the ground. The explosion severed the legs of the passenger, while the driver struggled to crawl on his knees. In a breathtaking moment, a Ukrainian sniper, positioned 200 meters away, executed a flawless shot that disarmed the soldier on the ground with astonishing precision. In a heart-pounding moment, the last remaining motorcycle made a desperate attempt to flee, but the relentless FPV swarm closed in swiftly, sealing its fate. In a tense moment, the last 3 motorcycles swerved towards the bushes, while the 28th Brigade Reconnaissance Team, Delta Helix, unleashed fire at the mine corridor from afar. The final motorcycle, flipped over in a desperate bid for freedom, erupted into flames. In a tense moment, as the gunner struggled to disassemble the PKM, the bullet belt grew dangerously hot, searing the driver's hand in a painful reminder of the chaos surrounding them. In a decisive move, the 28th Brigade's T-80 Brem recovery vehicle skillfully towed the last 2 motorcycles, integrating them into the ammunition stockpile. The scene was charged with a sense of urgency and purpose. The drone has confirmed it's clear. However, the minefield remains perilously active. Casualty report. On the Russian side, there are 8 motorcycles, 1 ATV, and 14 personnel accounted for. On the Ukrainian side, there are none.